On this episode of Watch Stuff With Us, Monsters, the Lyle and Erik Menendez story, episode 6 recap, Answering the Whys. Thanks for tuning in to yet another episode of Watch Stuff With Us. I'm JD.
I'm Katie.
And on this episode, we are breaking down the whys from episode 6 of Monsters, the Lyle and Erik Menendez story. Please hit that like button, the subscribe button, comment and share if you are enjoying all the content that we've been putting out. It really helps and we appreciate it.
Thank you.
So now let's get going.
Our first why. What changed between Kitty and Jose from when they were young until now?
I honestly think that's the biggest question of the entire series so far. We didn't know much about Kitty and Jose when they were younger, but we got to see how they interacted and how deeply in love they seemed to be. So I really have difficulty understanding what changed them from when they were young like that and so in love, and Jose is out here going for the American dream, to once they achieved it, that things went so south for them. I'm guessing, and my guess would just be money. Like, money had to be the thing that corrupted and sort of changed them. When there's that drive and that bond between two people and you don't have anything, that kind of brings people together. And then once they got everything, I think Jose sort of transitioned to looking towards money as his only focus and trying to get more, which is, he was trying to provide for his family, but he was trying to get...
He just went a little overboard.
Yes, he definitely went overboard. And he was trying to do what he could for his family, and that became his sole focus. And he lost track of what actually brought them together and the love that they had.
I agree. Why question 2? Why does Kitty hate Lyle and Erik so much? In the show, they made it seem like she was jealous of them because they took away her husband. We've heard that in multiple episodes.
It's really sad to have a mom that sort of resents her own children. I understand why she felt that way, because I think you're right. She did feel like they were coming in between her relationship with her husband, and they became more of a focus for Jose than she was. And that can build a lot of resentment. She obviously had some mental abuse. She definitely has her own fair share of issues as well. But I think the main thing that she felt was her problem was that the boys were Jose's focus more than her. And that sort of jealousy just corrupted her and turned her into someone who, on top of everything else, resented pretty much everyone in her house. Like, I couldn't imagine living like that. She talked about how she felt so alone and how they moved her away from all of her friends because of Lyle and Erik doing their robbery spree, and how she felt like she was by herself. I know that it said that she committed or tried to commit suicide a few different times. She'd also started drinking a ton and just taking pills. So that is, I can't say that I relate with that type of feeling, but I do kind of understand why she would grow to resent them. I don't think that she necessarily hated them. I think she loved them, but in a way that, like, I know these are my children and I love them because I have to, not because I want to.
Right, and I'm not sure if she ever felt super connected to them. Some people don't have the maternal instinct, which is okay if you don't really have children, or at least you fake it. But I don't know if they were planned pregnancies. If they were, maybe it was because her husband wanted them. But maybe she just thought this is what she was supposed to do, is have children, and then didn't have that connection to them once they were around. And that can be a thing too. Why question number 3. Why did Jose repeat the traumas that were done to him as a child? He was spoiled. He was coddled. He was abused. What is interesting to me is that his mother seems to be the one that was doing the physical abuse to him, and then he went and did that to his sons. So it wasn't like it was a father to father to father thing, because it made it sound in another episode like we are
Mm-hmm.
Menendezes. This is what we do to be strong. And I believe that his father did some physical abuse to him as well, but I think his mom's was just a little bit different, as they led into in this episode.
My wife and I used to be in the business of working with children and dealing with situations where there was abuse. And so many times when you go and look at the history of those kids, their parents were also abused. And then likely those people before them were abused. There's a cycle, a continuous cycle that seems to happen with abuse. And I really hope that Erik and Lyle don't continue to perpetuate that cycle as they have gotten older. Now, I know that they are not in a position right now to have children, but if they were to be out, would they be able to break that cycle? That's an interesting question for me. So, man, there you go. Episode 6 review, answering the whys. It was another kind of heavy episode. It did serve to show a lot of background on Kitty and Jose, and I think that that was sorely needed. And I believe that the next episodes are going to focus on more of the trial and the fallout of the trial. So it'll be cool to watch the rest of that, and for you guys to continue to watch it with us.
And we do know that not everything in this episode is the truth, because
Yeah.
nobody's with them all the time to have had all the answers. So we understand that. We're just talking about what we're seeing within this show.
So again, thanks so much for rocking with us. Please hit that like button, the subscribe button, comment, and share all of our episodes. We're on TikTok now, doing pretty well over there. We are going to be starting our live streams again soon. So,
Yeah.
man, now is the time to jump on the Watch Stuff with Us bandwagon with JD.
And Katie.
We love you and peace.